Hi, my name is Hector Morales. I'm the pastor of community outreach here at Emmanuel Faith, and it's really my privilege to help our church family think about ways that we can be the good news as we share the good news. And that's really what Pastor Eric Marsh was talking about this weekend, is how can we change the world even in our ordinary lives, right? Because I remember when I was in college, I too had this just plan of how I can change the world, change the neighborhood I grew up in, change at-risk neighborhoods, and change lives. And I wanted to do it, not just one life at a time, but a whole lot of people all at once. But then life gets in the way. I had to go to school, finish school, and then I went on to seminary, and I had to do a lot of studying. And then after that, I got married, and I had kids. Like many of you probably as well had these great plans of wanting to change the world. But then ordinary life happens. And that's okay. We can still change the world through the ordinary things of life. So I challenge you to think about, what are some of those ordinary things that you do every day? Whether it's going to school, going to work, taking your kids to school, in your kids' extracurricular activities. Where has God placed you? What is your sphere of influence that God has placed you? And what can you do in those ordinary situations, the everyday things of life, to change the life of one person at a time? How can you be a superhero for one person? So again, I really encourage you to think about your workplace, your neighborhood, your school, your family. Who are the people that God brings into your path on a regular basis that need a touch of Him? How can you make a difference for that one person? Through patience, through gentleness, through humility, as Ephesians 4:1-2 really encourages us to do, and as Pastor Eric shared with us. We want to change the world, but it's really difficult to do it when ordinary life gets in the way. But as he shared some of the stories in his own experience and how people in their ordinary life changed it for one person. So think about your own life. Who are the people that God is bringing into your path? Thought about that one person? Or maybe it's a group of people? How can you be a superhero for them or for that one person? So I encourage you to figure out, how can you wade into their life, push into their life gently, respectfully, without being obnoxious? Because I know I sometimes am. I push my way into people's lives and I haven't really been invited in. How can I win an audience? How can I winsomely be Jesus in their lives? One example of how we can do that is by asking permission. When someone begins sharing their lives with you and you just don't know what to say, one of the things I like to ask them is, Joe, last time you shared with me this thing going on. I'm wondering how that is doing. Would you mind sharing with me again what's going on? Because I really want to know how to pray for you. Those are usually great ways to allow people to in a little bit closer. And when they do share with us, make sure you thank them. Thank them for saying, hey, thanks, Joe, for being vulnerable. Really appreciate it. I'm going to make sure to be praying for you in these next few days. If anything changes, let me know. Would love to know how I can continue to pray for you. Those are great ways to not only ask for permission into their lives, but then as well, thanking them for being vulnerable. And during that time, I'm usually asking God, praying in my mind, saying, God, what else would you have me say to this person? God usually really lets me know very clearly what He wants me to say to them, how I can be an encouragement to them and help them take one step closer to Jesus if they are far from Him. So, and it reminds me of a story, starfish parable. Maybe some of you have heard of it. When one person, a young man, stops an older gentleman who is throwing starfish into the ocean. And he goes up to him and say, hey, what difference do you think that's going to make? Look at the beach. There are a whole lot of starfish for miles. He says, well, as he picks up and throws another one in, says it made a difference for that one starfish. Goes down a few more steps, picks another one up, and it made a difference for that starfish as he throws him back into the ocean. You may not be able to change the world as we once thought when we were younger, but you can make the difference in the life of one person. Who is in your sphere of influence that God has brought into your life and has allowed you to have a connection with, a relationship with, your neighbor, family, co-worker, your student? How can you make a difference in their lives? So this week, I encourage you to, as God brings different situations into your ordinary life, think about how you can make the difference in that one person's life. What can you say? What can you do through humility, patience, and love? How can you be Jesus to that person? So if you're looking for opportunities of how you can connect with some of our community partners in your worship folder this weekend, you did get a brochure that lists all of our community partners. Think about how you could get involved with them. I'm not asking you to do anything more, but if you do need some help, there are great community partners there that would love to have you help them and partner with them. But if you already know what your God assignment is, then go for it. Would love to hear how God is using you. So if you don't mind, feel free to give me a call. Let me know. Send me an email of what God is doing in and through you. And look forward to seeing how many more of us together, how we can really change the world, or at least change our community through the love of Jesus as we take risks to bring hope in our ordinary lives. Thanks so much. Look forward to hearing from you.